Hello, this video is going to cover the Overwolf Overlay Software Program. The Overwolf Overlay Software Program is a plugin to the TeamSpeak 3 internet chat program that the Whisperers of Hope use for all of their calendar event runs. I'm going under the assumption that you have your TeamSpeak 3 downloaded, installed, and correctly configured for the purpose of this video. If you do not have your TeamSpeak 3 already downloaded and installed, you want to do so, and the instructions on doing so are on the website, up in the video section, in the how-to video section. TeamSpeak 3 is essential for running with the WOH on all of their calendar event runs. Having Overwolf is not essential. Overwolf is a nicety and it does not have to be utilized. Only the TeamSpeak 3 internet chat software has to be utilized when running with the WOH in their calendar event runs. The purpose of an overlay program is to provide information to you and display it in another location so that you can make reference to it. And those two locations need not be connected. They may not have anything to do with one another. It's just an overlay of the data. The Overwolf overlay is going to take the information being gathered from TeamSpeak 3 and presenting it to you in the game that you're playing. You can also use it in various other pieces of software, but for this video, we're going to be assuming that we're using it in a WOH run, calendar event run. We're going to start our TeamSpeak software. This is the main TeamSpeak window. I'm the only person on. It's pretty early, so that's okay. If you see each of these rooms that are in place in the TeamSpeak window, I'm sitting here in the Pineapple Cove all by my lonesome. And if you follow my name logically over to the right, at the end of the row, you see no icon of a little red wolf. The little red wolf icon indicates that the Overwolf overlay program is being utilized by that user. In order to start the overlay program, Overwolf, I'm going to go up to my toolbar and I'm going to rest my mouse pointer on the red wolf head. When you installed your TeamSpeak 3 program, you were asked if you wanted to install the Overwolf software as a plugin. If you said yes, the software is already installed and ready for use. If you said no, which was perfectly okay, if you wanted to use the Overwolf software after the fact, you would have to install it. And you can do so just by clicking on the icon of this red wolf. In short, if the software is already there, it will start. If the software is not there, you will be prompted that it is not there and asked if you would like to install it. I'm going to start the Overwolf program by left-clicking on the icon, and this will start the Overwolf. Notice now how my name, if you follow it logically over to the right, has a little red icon of a wolf's head. That would indicate to any user visually that I am currently running the Overwolf software. At this time, I can minimize my TeamSpeak 3 window. I'm not going to close the program. I'm just going to minimize it, have it running in the background. When the Overwolf software starts, if you look over to the left-hand side, by default, you see that little dark bump coming out from the left-hand side of my screen? Well, if I rest my mouse pointer on it, that's my Overwolf software. This bump can be moved. If you don't like it there, you can drag it into another location on your screen so it's comfortable for you. But by default, it's going to be over to the left-hand side, so look for it there first. Resting your mouse pointer on it pops out all of the icons that are associated with the Overwolf program at this time. The center one, if I left click on it, gives you, if I click on that, it gives you a breakdown of all of the applications that are currently installed in the Overwolf software, but not currently running. These do not indicate running, they simply indicate installed. The Overwolf software, apart from being overlay, seems to be working mostly in chat programs. Facebook, Yahoo, chat programs of that nature. There is also a music player that I found and a couple of other nice little applications that can be installed at your direction, at your will. If I move my mouse pointer away, it tucks itself away nicely in the corner, so it keeps itself out of sight. The reason I'm using Overwolf is I want to utilize the TeamSpeak 3 aspect of the Overwolf overlay software. These icons running around in a semicircle, my games, videos, music player, that's the music player I was referring to, the App Store where you can download additional applications to run with your Overwolf, and aha, there's my TeamSpeak. When I left click on TeamSpeak, it's going to activate the TeamSpeak aspect of the Overwolf software. Follow my mouse pointer down here and you'll see that a new little icon or window has been added with the TeamSpeak 3 logo. This window can be moved into a more comfortable location visually on your screen. Place your mouse pointer there, left click drag, you've got the idea. It is see-through, so you want to make sure that whatever background you place it on is going to be conducive to the options that you want to see within it. If I place it on top of like information or like colors, you see how it can kind of become obscured. So you want to place it in an area where it's conducive to being seen clearly. If your mouse pointer is away from it for a given period of time, the window takes on the appearance of the TeamSpeak 3 icon. But if you rest your mouse pointer upon it, you will see that you're given 4 options. The first option is the minimize symbol. If you do not want to see this window, you're not closing it, you're simply hiding it from view. A simple left click on the negative symbol and notice that that window is no longer there. It is not closed, it is simply not being presented on the screen. If I want to call it back, I go back over to my Overwolf and I click on my TeamSpeak and it pops back up in the location that I placed it last. The next option on this window is the full TS3 option. If you wish to see the full TeamSpeak 3 window, you can left click on that, and that will represent your TeamSpeak 3 window. Provided, of course, TeamSpeak 3 was working in the background. If it was closed and you weren't connected, you would get a window that would indicate that, I'm sorry, I can't open this, you're not connected. I'm going to re-minimize this window. My next option here is the channel option. A left click of the channel option brings up another little window that can be moved and can be resized. This window here represents the channel that you are currently in within the TeamSpeak 3 environment. It is only the channel that you're in. It does not represent any of the other channels. As people come into your channel, they will start to populate this window by their usernames. When they talk, their names will change colors. Keep an eye on my name there as I key my microphone. Bay is talking. Notice how my name changes colors. When I unkey my microphone, I go back to white. This will tell you at a visual glance who is speaking to you. There's also a negative symbol on this window. If you don't want to see it, you can minimize it away. It is not closed, it is simply not presented visually on your screen overlaid on top of everything else. To get it back, of course, you go down to this window and again click on the channel. The next option and the last option in this window is your notifications. When your notifications are turned on, you will receive a small little box in one of the corners of your screen, upper or lower, depending on how you have it configured. And this little box will show you who is talking to you. And I'll give you a demonstration of that in just a moment. If that is turned off, then you will not be receiving those notifications. There are certain configurations that I would like to talk to you about concerning the Overwolf software. The first, the Overwolf software, like any other piece of software, when running, will take up system resources on your machine. If you find that while using the Overwolf software is slowing your machine down or slowing your gaming experience down, I strongly suggest that you discontinue the use of Overwolf, if not uninstalling it completely. That will be completely up to you. Remember that using the Overwolf software is not necessary in running with the WOH on their calendar events. Only the TeamSpeak 3 is necessary. There are certain configurations inside of the Overwolf software that I want to cover with you. How you do these configurations and how you utilize Overwolf is going to be completely up to you. I'm going to go over to the Overwolf software. To gain access to the settings area, there's a little wrench right here. I'm going to left click on that, and that brings up the settings window. I'm going to minimize this web page so that we get a nice clear look. The settings column here and everything that is displayed within a particular selection is going to be over to the right. We have the general selection at this time. At the top, by default, Overwolf is set to start when your computer starts. If you plan on using the software all the time, that's wonderful, keeping in mind that it will use system resources. I don't particularly care for that. I want to be the one to tell it when to start and when to stop, so I make sure that that check mark is not present. Whenever you make a change in the settings, you want to make sure that you save your changes. There's a support tab, a video tab. Overwolf has a version of the Fraps program which is utilized for capturing game and capturing screen. If you wish to use that, it's going to use up even more system resources, but again, depending on the strength of your machine, that's going to be completely up to you. I will not be using the Fraps program that is being provided by Overwolf. I use a Fraps program that is independent. Chat bubbles, hotkeys, accounts. Notice all of the different social media that it covers. Pretty impressive. Notice that I'm not in any of them. That's okay. Notifications. We spoke earlier about notifications and where the little notification window will pop up when you're using this Overwolf overlay software on your machine. You can change the corners simply by left clicking in the circles. I like to have mine in the lower right hand corner. Remember, every time you make a change, you want to click save. When you click save, it pops you right out of the settings, but you can come right back in by going to Overwolf and going to the wrench. And there we are. Back to notifications. That's where we were last. I want mine to pop up in the lower right hand corner. FPS. By default, Overwolf will start its version of the Fraps program when you start your games. If you're in your game and you see these yellow numbers flashing in the corners of your screen, you know that Overwolf is sitting there in the background with its Frap program ready to record. By default, it's turned on. I turn mine off. I don't use their version of Fraps, so I turn it off. By default, it is turned on, and if you want to use it, you can also control where those numbers are displayed on your screen. I'm keeping mine off. And then the language that everything is going to be presented to you. Remember, whenever you make a change, you want to click your Save button. Alright. As I stated previously, I like to be in control of what turns on and when. I also like to be in control of how to turn things off. TeamSpeak and its overlay Overwolf. This is how I turn those off. When I'm done, I come out to my desktop and I go down, depending on your operating system. We're looking at a Windows 7 machine here. I'm going to go down into the lower right hand corner. I'm going to show the icons of what is currently running. The blue circle is TeamSpeak. The red wolf head is Wolf. And I'm going to shut them off by right clicking on them. Close Overwolf. See ya. And then I'm going to close my TeamSpeak. Right click.
Disconnected.
And that's how I shut them off. There are other ways of shutting them off. That's just simply how I do it. Okie doke. This is, I'm going to do some visuals for you. I'm going to do some visuals for you on how the Overwolf overlay program will look inside of the particular game I play at this time is Lord of the Rings Online. I do play other games, so I'm going to use Lord of the Rings as a visual example. Know that overlay will work in most any game that you play. I just want to give you some visuals of some of the commands and how you can expect it to look and some of the further configurations that you can do. Over here on my little bump, I call it the bump, is where I have the overlay running. I want to start my TeamSpeak. When I do so, my TeamSpeak window pops up, has the icon of the TeamSpeak on it. This window, again, can be moved around to a comfortable location inside of your game. You want to try and get it away from any of the other modules that are going on so you get a nice overlay or opaque view through it. I rest my mouse pointer on it and it has the three choices. My full TeamSpeak 3, again, as we've covered, if I click on that, up comes my TeamSpeak window. I'm going to minimize that back down. My channels, a left click on that, brings up my channel. Remember that it's only the channel that you are currently in. It does not care about any of the other channels. This window also can be moved and resized depending on how you like it. Notice that I can see clean through it. As more people come into my room, their names will be listed in this window, and as they speak, Bay speaking, you will see that their names are going to turn color so you can tell who's talking to you. The third option is notifications. Notifications are the little boxes that can pop up in either of your four corners that indicate who is speaking at this time. Please keep an eye on my lower right-hand corner of the screen. As I'm talking inside of TeamSpeak, you will see that there is a little box that pops up with my name, and my name is colored. When I unkey my microphone, that box will go away. As the people are talking within my TeamSpeak channel, their names will come in their own little boxes, and the boxes will pile high. Everyone who's talking, their name will be colored. When they unkey their mics, the notification window will go away. You can control whether the notifications are displayed or not by setting this window to on or off. Notice how I've set the notifications to off at this time. I key my microphone and only my channel window reflects that I am speaking by the changing of the color of my name. I set my notifications back to on, and when I key my microphone, the window pops up. You do have control over what corner of your screen the notification window pops up. We've covered that, but let me do it again. I'm going to go back over to my Overwolf. I'm going to go to my little wrench here. That's going to bring up my settings. I'm going to go down to notifications. Wherever I put the green circle is where my notifications are going to pop up. Whenever you make a change, you always want to click Save. Keep an eye in the upper left-hand corner. Bay talking, Bay talking, Bay talking. You get the idea. I want mine back down in the lower right. Bay talking, Bay talking, Bay talking. Remember, Overwolf is not a necessity when you're running with the WOH. It is just a nicety. If it doesn't work for you or it slows your machine down horribly, discontinue use immediately and call your doctor. Okay, I'm teasing. But discontinue use immediately. You don't have to have this window open. You can minimize that window off the screen. You can minimize your main TeamSpeak 3 window off the screen and simply rely upon your notifications, which is what I do a lot of the time. Or you can go back to your Overwolf and readjust. It is completely up to you. I hope this has helped you with the Overwolf program. Aloha.